Hi everybody and welcome to Rose's Cafe. Today we're going to make Sinigang na Baboy. Sinigang is a Filipino word that basically translates into English as stew. Typically it's made with the meat, vegetables, and flavored with souring agent. Traditionally the meat is a seafood and the souring agent is tamarind. However, almost any meat can be used and the souring agent doesn't have to be tamarind. Nearly every province and family in the Philippines has its own favorite way of making sinigang based on local availability of ingredients. Following that tradition, I'll be making a couple of substitutes in the recipe based on what I can easily find in the local supermarkets. In this recipe, we'll use pork for the meat and lemon juice for the souring agent. As for the vegetables, pretty much anything you like can be used. However, tomatoes are more or less required. A leafy green called kangkong or water spinach, and sometimes eggplants are very welcome, as are radishes. Sinigang is normally served in a bowl, but is spooned onto a plate over steamed rice to be eaten. Because it contains both meat and vegetables, it's usually eaten with rice. It constitutes a complete meal. First, we should prepare the ingredients. The recipe calls for bone-in pork chops, and if we kept it traditional, that's exactly what we would use. I happen to have this pork available, which is boneless pork rib, which I'm going to use. And next we'll be chopping the onion. Next we'll need to peel and chop a piece of fresh ginger. And we want to dice 2 tomatoes. This is an important part of sinigang. Its tomatoes are a bit acid, so they help impart a little bit of a sour flavor. And we're also going to add some eggplant, about half of this, and some red and white radish, even though it's not on the recipe. It'll make it good, trust me. And lastly, we want to trim and cut a good handful of green beans. I think I neglected to mention earlier that Baboy means pork. Hence, Sinigang na Baboy means pork stew in English. Okay, we've finished with our preparations, so here's the plan. We have our oil heating up in this covered pot, where it will be covered. And once it's nice and hot, the first thing we're going to do is add the onions. We're going to saute them till they're starting to turn translucent. That'll only take a few minutes. Then we're going to season that with the salt. That's a tablespoon of salt in there. And we're also going to add the ginger at that time, and we're going to saute it a little bit more. Then we're going to add the tomatoes and the pork, and we're going to turn the heat then to medium-low, and we're going to stir it occasionally until the pork is brown. At that point, we're going to add the water. There's 2 cups of water. We'll probably add another cup or 2 depending on how things look. And there is a cup of lemon juice. Now, Rose told me that she thought a couple of tablespoons of lemon juice would do it for the souring, but I don't think so. To me, I really like that sour flavor of the tamarind. So we're going to try to use the lemon juice, and it's not nearly as strong as calamansi juice, so I think we're going to need a fair amount of it. Anyway, if it doesn't taste good, it'll be my fault, not Rose's. We're going to boil that for about 30 minutes till the pork is nice and tender. And then we're going to add the vegetables, the green beans, the eggplant, and the radishes, and we're going to continue to boil until they're nice and tender. While that's going on, we're going to make some rice, and when everything is all done, we'll have dinner. Okay, so here we go. Hold on to your hat. First thing we're going to do is put the onions in. Got that fire down just a little bit. Saute these onions until they're nice and transparent. That's going to start bringing out that aroma. It's going to be very aromatic. Doesn't take very long at all. Sprinkle the salt in about now. And add our chopped ginger. Saute that until the flavor of the aroma starts coming out some. Okay, lastly we want to add the tomatoes and the meat. We want to turn the heat down to about medium low. And we want to stir the meat occasionally until it's brown on all sides. Okay, the meat is fairly brown now, so we'll add our water. The lemon juice, and I think we're going to add an extra cup of water just to be on the safe side. Okay, gonna cover that and set the old timer over here for 30 minutes. And we'll wait. Okay, it's been about 30 minutes, so let's see what we've got. Looking good to me. Smells pretty good too. So the thing we need to do now is add the rest of these vegetables. Okay, now I suspect it's going to take about another half hour for these vegetables to cook. Okay, I have my handy rice cooker ready to go here. For me by myself, I only need about a cup of rice. So I'm going to add a cup of rice and add water to the appointed mark. Cover it. And turn it on. And in just a few minutes, the rice will be done, and it'll keep it warm until I'm ready for it. Okay, let's see what we got here. Pretty good to me. Let's get some rice ready now and see if we can have some dinner. Well, here we are. There's my version of the Sinigang na Baboy, and it tastes pretty good if I do say so myself. That's it for today. We'll see you next time at Rose's Cafe. Y'all take care now. Bye-bye.